The Ministry of Education announces the results of the secondary school certificate exam in all branches for the year 2015. Syrian army units carry out operations against terrorist organizations' positions and dens in many areas across the country, causing heavy losses upon them in personnel and equipment. And Saudi warplanes launched a series of airstrikes against the Yemeni capital Sana'a, and the Yemeni army retaliates by targeting Saudi military positions. Good afternoon, this is news in English from the Syrian Arab television in Damascus. The Syrian Ministry of Education announced the results of the secondary school certificate exams in all branches for the year 2015. The success rate for the scientific branch was 68.86. More than 230,000 students submitted the secondary school certificate exams and were distributed to about 1,892 exam centers. In our field developments and in Homs countryside in central Syria, Syrian army units destroyed terrorist hideouts to the south of Palmyra and Al-Rastan, killing and wounding scores of terrorists. The army destroyed 2 dens of Takfiri terrorist organizations in Walad and killed 6 terrorists to the northwest of Al-Ghariyat in the countryside of Daraa city in southern Syria. While in Aleppo, army units killed scores of the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria ISIS terrorists and destroyed their vehicles in the surroundings of the Air Force Academy and Minbij in the countryside of the city. Meanwhile, the Army's Air Force inflicted heavy losses upon terrorist groups in the eastern countryside of Idlib. The airstrikes were launched intensively against terrorists in the villages and towns of Al-Majas, Al-Tira and Abu Dhur, killing many of the terrorists and injuring others, in addition to destroying their weapons. The Army Air Force also destroyed a number of vehicles belonging to the Takfiri terrorist organizations and killed scores of their members in Al-Hamra and Qalib and Al-Thawra in the countryside of the central Hama city. Army units and in cooperation with the Lebanese National Resistance launched a wide-scale military campaign in Al-Zabadani and advanced in several axes. The operations resulted in killing and wounding scores of terrorists and destroying their ammunition. Saudi warplanes launched a series of airstrikes against the Yemeni capital Sana'a. In retaliation, the Yemeni army and the People's Committees launched 13 missiles against Saudi military positions in Jizan. A Yemeni military source said that the missile attacks resulted in the killing and wounding of several Saudi soldiers and the destruction of their vehicles, referring that the missiles also targeted the Saudi Najran airport. In more international news, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said that despite some disputes in the last hours of negotiations concerning the Iranian nuclear file, but we are not that close to a permanent solution. Zarif pointed out that some believe arrogantly that the economic and military pressures on Iran would lead to its surrender, and believes that they can continue in their illusions on the expenses of the souls and money of others. Zarif expressed his hope to reach an agreement, clarifying that all sides of negotiations finally realizes that pressures and threats won't lead to a permanent solution. On the contrary, it increases the tension. He added that we are ready to make a balanced agreement and open new horizons to deal with the joint challenges. He also stressed that Iran is always on the front line of fighting extremism. The Youth Charity Society has a lot of voluntary activities and initiatives to train youth and find job opportunities for the people who are displaced from their houses to Dummar suburbs. More in the following.
The Youth Charity recently launched a campaign to offer food and supply packages in the holy month of Ramadan to the displaced people in Dumar al-Balad. The campaign included distribution of food and clothes to about 750 families donated by people in the area. We are a charity association that serves poor families that were registered into our project, as well as we serve food receipts such as vegetables and meat in addition to oil and rice. Department of Special Needs patronizes disabled people and qualify them. The activities of the society are not restricted to distributing food and clothes aid, but they cover other initiatives, especially in the field of medical care, education and relief work. About 5,800 families have benefited from these activities. The society also signed 2 contracts with the World Health Organization to offer medical care in the center affiliated to the society, which includes all medical specializations. Another contract was signed with the UNDP to train youth and find appropriate jobs for them. The idea was raised because of the existence of a large number of unemployed youth who were displaced to Dumar al-Balad. The youth are trained on various vocations at the hands of 14 specialists who enabled them to enter the job market and contribute to the construction of their country.
We hope to circulate this experience, which is regarded as the first one in the Middle East, and the number of trainers reached about hundreds that are ready to rebuild their country. We will stand all together to raise up our homeland and never need a stranger's help.
The idea was raised because of the existence of a large number of unemployed youth who were displaced to Dumar al-Balad.
With this, we end our first segment of our news for today. Stay with us after the break, the latest in the world of economy and finance, after a short break. Welcome back. Prime Minister Wael Halaqi announced that there will be a grant of 4.625 billion Syrian pounds in support for Aleppo province, while he was on a visit there heading an economic ministerial delegation this week. Acting upon President Bashar al-Assad's directives, al-Halaqi also announced that 10 intercity buses and 3 new ambulances will be introduced to Aleppo governorate system. Earlier, the Prime Minister inspected the situation of Aleppo markets on a field visit where he checked on the purchase and sale movement and availability of food supplies. He spoke to a number of citizens, shop owners and merchants who briefed him on the situation of the markets and their livelihood concerns. Al-Halaqi also met with industrial, economic, commercial and business figures through whom he wanted to get better acquainted with the situation of their sectors. At the end of the meeting, al-Halaqi and the ministers accompanying him replied to some inquiries related to paying compensations for damage caused by the facilities and providing the basic requirements for running factories, such as water, electricity and fuel at Sheikh Najjar Industrial City. Members of the Services Committee at the People's Assembly discussed on the state of the pharmaceutical industry in a meeting attended by Health Minister Nizar Yazagi and representatives of the pharmaceutical factories. The committee members stressed the need to provide production needs for factories to ensure the pharmaceutical production continues and that the local market's needs are met at reasonable prices. They also called for more stringent supervision of pharmacists and pharmacies in terms of availability and quality of pharmaceutical products. For their part, the factories' representatives called for finding solution for the issue of products that lose money. And with this, we come to the end of our news for today. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and Godspeed.